Yes, gentlemen, you need me, all of you. This is evident from all measures which the federal government, the governments of the states, and the communities now seize upon. Nowhere a guiding idea, nowhere a trace of leadership. Nothing to be seen but slack reins, shootings, courts, trials, death sentences, bloody judicial benches. Patchwork, complete helplessness towards the problem of unemployment, of scarcity of houses. Hopelessness in the ranks of the workers. Despair gripping the upper classes. Continually new frictions arise between the ministers of state, of whom one half pulls to the right while the other half goes to the left without finding the way. For example, Darren Burke and Gesell. Stagnation is the result, and stagnation is today the silence in which hailstorms are forming. The cart is in the ditch. You need an additional horse, a stallion, not a party hack. You need me. You do not want to, and you cannot believe this. I fully understand. But for what purposes do we have our colleges, you will ask? You are justified in asking this question. What is the use of these colleges if they hold to the opinion that no politics must be tolerated there? Our colleges have been closed from the beginning to the field of political economy. He who has really wanted to learn something in this field could not find it in colleges. He has had to live to experience political economy. And this I have done as a merchant and a manufacturer in Germany, Spain, and Argentina, and as a farmer in Switzerland. I have explored the economic relationship of things. I have built my knowledge to a science, and thus linked theory and practice, science and life, to the advantage of both. I prospered. To me, my theory was not gray and musty. It meant cash money to me. Where are the armies of doctors of economic science which our universities arm with diplomas year by year? Surely in these times pregnant with disaster, there should be ample occasion to show that they learned something at the universities. Well, where are they? Right now, for instance, we should fight with all our available might against the ruinous danger emanating from the intended lowering of the prices. The facts are that, apart from the Free Economy League, only 3 men refer to the currency question in Germany, and each one of them to only a small section of the gigantic field. Only that small part with which he comes in personal contact in his everyday life. There is Ben Dixon, director of the Mortgage Bank of Hamburg, who compares money with a luggage check, with a wardrobe check. Professor Knopp, jurist at Strasbourg, who regards money only in its judicial relationship to the state. and Liefmann, professor at Freiburg, who only knows money as a recipient of an income. The income, he says, determines the height of the prices. He is not aware that the recipients with a fixed income justify their demand for an increase of income because of the general rise in prices. And more than these do not exist. 3 men altogether. The field of interest is entirely deserted. As far as the German tongue is heard, I am the only one on the battlefield who still crows and is permitted to crow. No one dares to reply to me. The former craze to write has been followed by the writer's cramp since my work has become known. They no longer know what to do with their scholastic erudition. They notice that they have not been led to the light at the universities. They experience now the bitter earnestness of Lujo Brentano when he said, "In the teachings of economics, a truth is only recognized as long as it coincides with the interests of a powerful party, and then only as long as this party remains powerful. Let another party become more powerful, and the most erroneous doctrines are rehabilitated if they appear to serve its interests." Under these conditions, one can understand that our universities can breed, in the field of political economy, only mental cripples. I might help many of these fellows worthy of our sympathy, but it is made difficult by the heavy ballast which first has to be unloaded. And besides, the road to me is blocked for many by the fact that my teachings leave nobody cold but stimulate action. For example, a fair-thinking and just man, when he understands the deeper connections, will become indignant over the sabotage of the forces of production by the strike of the money powers. But as such indignation, under the prevailing conditions, makes courage necessary, most people would rather keep silent. Civilian courage, as Bismarck has said, is a very rare thing. And therefore, I repeat, and in no elated mood, but with the consciousness of expressing a truth which is full of disadvantage for me, you need me here in Germany. Not because there is a lack of men having the mental powers for this work. This is not the reason, but because there is no one amongst the 70 millions who has prepared himself for this job. I alone have done it. Germany is no longer interested in the rate of interest as a creditor, but as a debtor. Germany has to pay interest to foreign countries, and in this case Germany must, like every other debtor, be interested in the reduction of the interest rate. Whether the interest rate is 6 or 4% means billions for Germany. I ask you, who is capable of preventing progressive increase in the interest rate? I am prepared to do it, and there is no one else. It depends on me whether Germany is to break down under the burden of interest or not. Moreover, Germany is not only interested in the height of the interest rate, but also in the price of gold. The lower this price, the easier the burden. Amongst 70 million Germans who grope around in the fog of the Marxian value doctrine, you will find no one who has closely examined the burden. I alone have done it. They all, like the cat around the hot pot, walked around the currency problem, or, like the Marxists and the beggars, simply admired money. I looked at money critically and found where our creditors have many means of raising the price of gold arbitrarily to our disadvantage. Barring the event of Morgan and his accomplices thwarting my designs, I would, by a series of measures, all leading to the same goal, exert an unusual pressure on the price of gold, and thus, though not shaking off the entire burden, yet greatly lighten it. It would be easy to reduce the burden by 20, 30, 50%.